Well, welcome back to Crave, everybody. Tonight we're talking to Robin Smith, who is very shortly going to be joining us down here in Auckland, Takapuna, in fact. And Robin, would you care to tell people why you're coming?
Good question. No, I am the musical director and the arranger of Tubular Bells, Mike Oldfield's Tubular Bells, which we started performing a few years back for his 50th, wait for this 50th anniversary of the release of that album. It's bonkers, really.
Is that making us feel old?
Really, really old. Luckily, I wasn't born. No, no. So we perform. Yeah, I just reimagined the work, and we go around the world performing it, and it's amazing. It's amazing to see people's reactions, but to take people on a journey that a lot of people were there. Can remember what they were doing 50 odd years ago, and they go, "Wow!" And they get very glassy eyed when they
Yeah.
back to being a 17-year-old.
Mm. I
No,
mean,
it's great. It's a wonderful thing.
it's a remarkable suite of music. So, what's your connection to it?
Okay, so I was a big fan, as an emerging classical musician, and so I used to play classical rock and pretty well everything.
Right.
It was a big, it was a no, it wasn't an influence, but it was there. It was there with this wonderful part of musical being, especially in the UK. You had with the emergence of prog rock
Yeah.
with I suppose with bands like Yes were coming through, King Crimson. Gentle Giant, all these bands, who were like really experimental, and what they were doing was taking snippets from the influence of folk music, rock music, classical music. All these things were suddenly merged together on this kind of rock, kind of trifle. And as and really Mike being on, I think he did some work with Soft Machine as well. So that kind of the influence of that, but he took it one step further. I mean, to write a piece of music that's 50 minutes long. I mean, 50 minutes is
Yeah.
can barely do 3 minutes these days. So 50 minutes long that has a cohesive kind of structure, themes, beautiful themes, and it's just incredible. Uh, was amazing, and not just from a point of a compositional kind of thing, but just from a sheer fact of there weren't computers in those days.
No.
It was completely organic.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it. So the fact that I was a big fan, loved it, and had the honor having worked with his sister Sally as a
Right.
musician. I just happened to be at the right time when he says to her, "Oh, I've just finished Tubular Bells 2. They want me to do a big sort of launching promo of it.
Hmm.
I need somebody really, really clever to come in and take the work and make it playable by other musicians." And
Right.
that's where we started, and that's it. We went on from there.
Yeah. So I've seen the video of the Edinburgh Castle performance of
Great,
Tubular Bells 2, and
great hair.
that was that was an astonishing performance. So I'm just thinking, I mean, what's the band going to look like for this production?
Well, it's a similar kind of format because it's the idea of taking a large scale work. There's going to be eight of us
Right.
perform it. And as we did, it's funny with Tubular Bells too. Even back then, the idea of that, the reason I was conducting this kind of like quasi rock orchestra was we were enhancing it with modern. It was the first time that a lot of modern technology, was brought into a live performance. There are
Right.
not many people before that were doing. George Michael had started. Michael Jackson was on the cusp of doing it, but this one concert where you had something that didn't stop, but brought in all kinds of different facets of what we could use as an emerging technology,
Right.
was very exciting. And so yeah, the idea, it's eight of us performing our What's It's Off for the whole duration, but it's brilliant.
I'm sure. Well, I mean, the original is an extraordinary piece of music. So
Yeah.
will you be playing Spanish guitar, or will you be introducing acoustic guitar?
Well, both really. No, everything is there. I mean, I'm the keyboard player, so
Right.
I just look fantastic all the time and just
Yeah,
wave
well,
my arms,
obviously.
obviously. But no, the funniest thing is I've reimagined a lot of the sound. So this isn't just a tribute version of it,
Right.
because you can hear lots and lots of tribute versions of Tubular Bells in a pub, which is really important. This is taking it and just making it a cinematic, beautiful, and just enhancing these incredibly rich melodies and textures. Every note is true to the original album,
Right. Right.
but just done in a very special way. So, for example, the guitar parts, there are two guitarists,
Yeah.
they play every single note exactly as Mike did.
Yeah.
Because it's really important, because Mike is the pivotal, his his sound, his inflections is a pivotal part of it all.
Yeah. And let's not forget, he wrote this when he was what, 17 years old?
Oh no, it's mad, isn't it? Absolutely
Yeah.
mad. I mean, and oh, blimey, just to have that amount of creativity at that age. And of course, I always felt sorry for him. I mean, others do. He didn't really want to be famous.
Mhm.
He just wanted to write music, and that's
Right.
when I met him and worked with him after. You always knew that's him sat in a studio with a guitar or a keyboard, inventing music, writing lovely melodies. That was his home place.
Right.
So it wasn't easy for him to be shunted in front of the world stage, and to be comfortable with that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I don't know the man, you do, but I'm told he's a bit like people like Kate Bush, amazing songwriter, amazing composer and conductor, but not the most confident stage presence.
Absolutely, totally, totally, totally. He would be terrified on stage. Um, just, and that's not his natural. His natural inhabited habitation was
Right.
on the studio with a recording going on. So that's why he now lives on a beach and jet skis every day. I'd be doing the same, I think.
I think you would. Yes. Why not?
Off
Indeed.
Takapuna though.
Well, Takapuna's got some decent beaches. To be fair, have you
Oh,
been here
it's
before?
gorgeous. Yeah, I've
You,
been many times. I love it.
oh, you're coming then. Yeah, Takapuna's a nice part of the world. You can go and visit Lord.
Yeah.
That's her stomping ground. So I was going to ask. Now, I don't know how to ask this without sounding rude, but your man Mike has made the most of Tubular Bells over the years. There's been many iterations of it.
Yep.
And we mentioned Tubular Bells 2, which has a completely different intro.
Yeah, it does.
I think, was it Tubular Bells 3? I think it was, that was almost unrecognizable. It was sort of
Yeah.
a dance trip version. So which bells are you bringing?
Oh no, the original. It's the original record.
Excellent.
The Tubular Bells one. It is the original one.
Right.
Every note is the same. And in fact, I sat down and I mapped out the whole 50-minute work.
Wow.
Every note. So every note is the same. The only thing that I've added to it is, the colors that we have now. Things. It's an extraordinary feat of I don't know, intrepidation to record that back in 50 odd years ago
Oh, yeah.
without synchronizers, without computers, without all these amazing things. So I've gone back and I've taken the ideology of going back to where Mike was,
Right.
then just adding things in, kind of going, well, if he was 17 now
Yeah.
and he had everything that we had, what would it sound like? But he's writing the same piece of music.
What an amazing question to ask.
That's it, and brilliantly answered. I thought, actually, because I thought you had me there, but I
No.
wheedled. No, it's totally right. This, it's again part of the struggling of Mike Oldfield. He wrote this, and that intro, of course, became so synonymous with The Exorcist
Yeah.
and so on, so on and so forth. So he kind of saddled with it, and I think he did. He struggled with the fact that, well, he didn't write it to be a horror theme,
No.
as a kind of a minimalistic kind of game. This is just incredible counterpoint of all these different elements kind of converging
Yeah.
until it erupts. That was his thing. So I think with, in later days, he was trying to escape that thing so that's why I think Tubular Bells 2 was much more plaintive, much more simpler in its
Yeah. It's
way.
still exquisite piece of music, whichever way we look at it.
Oh God, yes, it is. But for people to experience it right in front of them with these amazing musicians that I'm bringing over, performing right in front of them and putting their everything into it, it's great. It's a very emotional moment.
I'm sure it is. So speaking of these amazing musicians, I know one of the first ever live productions, people like Mick Taylor were in the band. Who are you
Yeah.
bringing?
Funny enough, I bring when I did Tubular Bells 2 live at Edinburgh
Hmm.
Castle, which is where I met Mike. Mike asked me to kind of prepare, to take his music because so Mike never learned music. He played all these instruments, but didn't have a clue about, notes or manuscript or no. So that's where I came. People like David Bedford were there before,
Yeah,
but he got me in because of my speciality was the fact that I could play anything in any style. So he we he asked me to do this. I had to get a band together, and my good friend Jay Stapley, who's a phenomenal guitarist, was the second guitar to Mike Oldfield's first guitar playing Tubular Bells 2 at Edinburgh Castle.
oh right, okay, yeah,
Jay Stapley is now my first guitar, being Mike Oldfield playing Tubular Bells 1. If you keep up with that one, that's it. No, but I just got all these lovely, lovely people. I have two gorgeous guitarists, two percussionists, a classical singer, a cellist, and a bass player, and myself being brilliant
of
and
course.
charismatic.
I would expect nothing else from you, sir.
I should think so.
So the question then has to be asked: who's going to be the MC?
So the MC actually is a pre-recorded one that we had, which was people always ask me, I can never remember his name. He's Sam. Oh, he's the son of a very famous English actor, Sam. Oh yeah, well he's very famous.
Okay, fair enough.
It's funny when you're doing this gig and that bit, the actual announcements,
Yeah.
or they're important in the original record. They're just something that happened. So you're not sitting there as a musician going, "Oh, that's a good bit, isn't it?" Because you're actually playing the music that's underneath it.
Well, of course, yes.
No, I can't remember his name. How
Oh,
awful.
well, we'll find out. I
Oh,
was
please.
I was always quite a fan of John Cleese's version of it personally, but that was
No,
me.
I'm going to see John Cleese would be fantastic. And there's all kinds of people who have done it, but this isn't about that. That's why there
Yeah,
isn't someone walking on. This is about the musicians, because there's this amazing backdrop of music going on at that point.
yeah. And so I'm guessing Piltdown Man is also going to be a recording.
What this is, it's a reimagining. So it all happens. It's great, but it's a present day representation of it. I'm not so. It's silly. Even during we did Tubular Bells 2, we had somebody coming on and screaming around a stage in a caveman outfit.
Yeah, Gordon John Sinclair, if memory serves me
Exactly.
right.
Well, yeah. Well, that didn't bode well, and I think he had his light in. I think Mike nearly knocked his lights out. But never mind. Moving swiftly on.
No. That's a story I want to interrogate that one
Oh yeah, I
further.
can. Yeah. No. It was very and of course the thing about it, those things detract from what the music's doing.
Right,
So
fair enough.
it's the music that's behind it, which is the key. So
Yeah,
it's there. It's there.
fair
In a
enough.
thank
Yeah.
you.
Now, you say it's going to be it's a 50-minute album, but
Yeah.
obviously the show's going to be a bit more than just 50
Yeah,
minutes.
absolutely. So in the first half, we performed some of Mike's, greatest works, themes from Omadorn,
Oh yeah.
themes from Bells 2. We perform Moonlight Shadow,
Ooh,
Family Man, and Summit Day. Now, Summit Day, when I was putting the show together, which we performed at Royal Festival Hall, Mike doesn't actually sort of get in touch very often, but I
right.
did ask, I said, what's his favorite piece of music that he ever composed that he would like to have performed? And he told me it was Summit Day from the Guitars album,
Oh right, yeah.
which is a beautiful piece of music. So we perform. It's kind of our homage to
Excellent.
Mike, which is great. So yeah, no, it's lovely. So that's the first half. And then because you need to kind of prepare yourself for
Yeah.
tubular, so that it puts you in the world of Mike Oldfield, and then you're off. Then you're off for 15 minutes. There may be a hornpipe, there may not be. I'm not going to tell you that because that would give the whole show away.
I shan't press for details then, but that does sound quite remarkable.
It's
So what does the future hold for you?
well, the
Uh,
future. I mean, I mean, I'm privileged. I mean, I've had a fantastic industry. I mean, having my career's been amazing. I mean, because I don't know whether I produced Margaret Ehrlich,
yeah.
who one of the great New Zealand singers. So my love for everything Australia and New Zealand is tantamount because of her. And so I just carry on doing what I'm doing. I mean, I must admit, the poor old music industry is apart from live work, that's the interesting thing. Apart from live concerts, everything else is, we might as well just shut the door and leave it to the computers, because
Yes.
it's a terrible thing to say. You should not have asked me that question, because oh no, no, it is.
Is there a rant coming on here? Do you need to unburden yourself here?
Oh, no. Hang on, I'm my therapist. No, it's not so much a rant. It's just reality. There are no budgets anymore for people
Right.
to really record. Imagine I spent my life orchestrating and conducting orchestras.
Yeah.
There isn't. But music. But the beautiful part about it is that now musicians have to get up and perform in front of people. So
Yeah.
live work has never been more important, which is great. That's kind of how it should be.
Yeah. I mean, could you imagine in this day and age a Richard Branson funding a Mike Oldfield to produce something as, let's be honest, barking mad as Tubular Bells?
And not in a month from Mondays. I
No.
mean, not. I mean, no. But also the beautiful part about the extraordinary thing about Tubular Bells, 50 odd, 52, 350. There wasn't the technology, right? So there were no computers, there were no click tracks, there were no quantization, there wasn't anything. This is pure creativity coming out of the mind of a young player,
Yeah.
who wasn't who had the platform because of everything else that was going on, to make a 50-minute piece. That doesn't exist today. It can't exist today. So it won't exist today. And that's not a bad thing. We just have to, regard it's like a great piece of work. Like
Yeah.
we don't go, oh, the world's a terrible place because Beethoven isn't composing anymore. We
Right.
just encompass it and take it in.
Right. So I didn't mean to set you off on a rant there. What I was actually meaning is, do you have any further collaborations with Mike planned? Kind of where I was going with that, but we went in a different direction. That's fine.
No, well, I'll just see the history of modern music then, when we just did that in about 2 minutes.
Yes, not a bad effort.
No, it's good. No, collaboration with Mike. What, from the beginning? Well, so Mike got me into do Tubular Bells 2.
Yeah.
So that was fantastic. And then I would just work with him after. So every time he needed something where it needed other people involved, I would be there. So I'd be there for Tubular Bells 3 and the Millennium Bell, and
Right.
beautiful album we did together called Voyager, which was
Right.
where he started playing folk music. And obviously it all all led up to the opening ceremony of the Olympics, which was an extraordinary thing to do, to be there on that night, and to perform Tubular Bells. So it's funny that got performed on one of the great sort of British evenings. It just shows where it is in the hearts and minds of everybody.
Oh, very definitely. I mean, it's. I don't know that there are many albums that have cemented themselves
No, not
quite,
really.
quite so
No,
solidly. Do you see
no,
yourself recording with Mike anytime in the near future?
I don't seem to Mike recording. I think Mike. No, I mean Mike. Bless, understandably, I'd do the same. He lives his life, um, uh, almost the same kind of thing. So if probably he's had a whole career of people going, "Oh, can you do Tubular Bells again? Could you do
Yeah.
another Tubular Bells?" And of course, he's given in, and of course, we can sit there and go,
Yeah.
"Oh God, he's done another Tubular Bells." So he can't quite get away with it, but. No, I think he still does music and this,
Yeah.
but he's left such a fantastic legacy, and it's my kind of wish to keep the minds of Tubular Bells, the original album, in people's hearts and minds.
Right. And what else do you have going on?
Well, just writing and composing and playing. I just love. I mean, it's funny going back to my wonderful rant. What's come out of it is I could actually literally go out here, find a piano, sit down and play, and people would appreciate it. They just don't take it for granted anymore. And
Right.
that's so if you've learned your craft, you do your scales, you learn your theory. Now he's off on another rant. Oh, geez.
Why not?
No, but if you learn your craft, whether it be a guitarist, piano player, or whatever, if you learn your craft and play, you've got a career. There we are. That's
Sounds good. And so since you're coming to New Zealand, and this is a question that is, I believe, mandatory for anybody who ever comes here. What are you planning to do while you're in New Zealand?
Well, no, it's a great thing of the life of musicians, isn't it? It's like we land in Auckland, probably wander around bumping into brick walls for a whole day,
Yeah,
get up, go to the theatre, set up, do the concert, and we're in that's on the 1st of August, we're in Takapuna.
right.
Um, and then we fly, but we're in Sydney by the 3rd.
Oh wow.
So yes, exactly, that's what I thought. So I'm I'm privileged enough that I've seen a lot of, this your beautiful country, and
Yeah.
I just love it. It's going to be cold.
Yes, you're
Living
not
north,
coming at the ideal time of year, to be fair.
no, so I'd like to come back with, we're in budgie smuggler
Mm,
type. No,
yes,
oh,
that will go
too,
down very very well in Takapuna, I'm sure. Yes.
I've seen them there. I've seen them there. No, no, just looking forward to coming back. And what's a great chocolate? I love it.
Oh,
My
Whitaker's.
Whittaker's. Thank you very much. You see,
Oh
that
yeah.
would have. No, that's. I'm not saying I'm not. In fact, I'm shutting up now because I was just about to say that's the most worthwhile thing. No,
It's
no,
reason enough for coming, isn't it? Quite frankly.
you said that. Yeah, no, I'm just love it. I mean, I've got long relationships with people from New Zealand, and it's
Yeah.
just lovely to come.
Yes. I mean, how close to the New Zealand music scene are you?
Not now. I mean, no. I mean, just back in the days of well, again, Margaret and uh, a few other Kiwi acts all came out. They were there because Sydney was like the big hub.
Yeah.
Everybody went to Australia to like launch their careers, so that happened. But things have changed. And I just look back now. I mean, what's fantastic is that Crowded House are at the O2
Mm.
next week. I mean, and their legacy is extraordinary. Just
Well,
such beautiful music.
the fact that you've acknowledged them as a New Zealand band, not an Australian band, will have won the hearts of all Kiwis right there.
I mean, does anybody ever think they're Australian? I
Well,
mean, apart
The
from Australian,
Aussies try very, very hard to claim them.
stop it. Oh yeah, always do. That's the same with what's that ridiculous? Oh my God, you guys, what is it? You've got a thing with the pudding thing now.
Oh,
Oh
the
God.
pavlova. There's something else
Oh,
that
we
the
don't
Aussies
even
try
eat.
and steal from us.
Oh, and Russell Crowe. I mean,
Oh, they
stop
can
it.
have him. That's fine. That was fair enough. They can have him. But Crowded House are ours. I
All right.
I had the great good fortune of seeing Fleetwood Mac about
Yeah.
5 years
Oh,
ago with
yeah.
Neil Finn on guitar,
Oh,
and
wow.
um, yeah, there's nothing Kiwis like more than a local boy made good, and that was an astonishing night.
Yeah.
The best reception I think they're going to get anywhere in the world was playing Auckland that night.
Oh my God. I mean, my other bit. I'm a big. I don't know where they are now. They went off to, but the Flight of the Concords
Ah,
is
yes.
that gone? Is that finished? As an ent? Are those
I
they?
think as a partnership, they I mean, look, everyone in New Zealand knows each other, but I don't often hear from either of those two guys very often. They never call, they never write. It's terrible.
Oh, that's
But
sad.
to the best of my knowledge, they've moved on to bigger and better things.
Yeah.
But they still hold a very very special place in the
They
hearts of
do.
Kiwis. They really do.
Well, it kind of is a personification of Kiwiism.
Yeah,
I've decided.
it
No,
it,
fantastic.
it is. I mean, people always used to say that us Brits have got dry senses of humor. Then I arrived here and realized, no, no,
No, not at all.
no.
No.
As you obviously realize, this is a very, very special place to be, and I'm very fortunate to be here.
You certainly are. So
Yeah,
whereabouts are you exactly? I mean,
I
not
I
you.
I live in a small town called Pukekohe, which is about half an hour from the centre of Auckland,
What, north or south?
south on the way to Hamilton.
Oh, nice, nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, love.
it's nice. So it's a nice small town,
Yeah,
but we can easily get up into the city for concerts and stuff. And so I will
yeah.
absolutely be there for Tubular Bells. I'm really looking forward
Oh,
to it.
well, you must come and say hi to us because, yeah, and anybody can say hi to us.
Do
We
you do you
probably,
do the meeting people in the audience in the lobby thing afterwards?
I do. Yeah, absolutely. And signing and yeah, no, and just
Oh,
it's
cool.
such a thrill that we do this. We've done the UK twice. We've done Europe. I mean, what's it called? Dubai. We've been taking it everywhere, and everywhere you go is a different, just so much warmth. I think
Yeah.
that's what this album does, this concert does. It just people just shed a lot of their sort of kind of things they have in their life, and it just becomes about the music, and
Yeah.
that's what this music does for you.
No, it is a very special piece of music. And tell you what, when you get here, look me up and I'll buy you a pint in Auckland.
Really?
Absolutely, sir.
No, Kiwis have never bought me a pint. What's going on?
Well, I'm still English, really.
No, I've had it, but no, come and say hi, Steve. Yeah,
Definitely, most assuredly, yeah.
And
well, listen, I think we're running out of time here, but thank you so much, Robin, for taking the time to talk to us. It's going to be a really fantastic show. Can't wait to see you.
Yeah.
And remind us, August the 1st?
August the 1st, and it's a Bruce Mason, isn't it?
Bruce Mason Centre in Takapuna, yeah.
See, I remembered that. I don't know who did the comparing, but I can remember where we're playing. That's the most important thing.
Good man. Good man. We'll see you at the show.
Lovely to see you. All the very best.